Delicious is as delicious does. And this next brewery knows all about that. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Beer Business Bureau. Now, the term delicious, like any other superlative or adjective out there, is subjective. So, I'm going to give you my definition of delicious. Freshly hopped beer. Which is why we're going to go right into the Stone Delicious IPA.
Stone's Delicious IPA is tasty, like its name implies, but it's certainly no slouch when it comes to the malt factor. It's briskly hopped with fresh Eldorado and lemon dropped hops, but its finish is much sweeter than it is bitter, unlike most IPAs. For those looking to transition into higher alcohol by volume India Pale Ales out there, you'd do well to put this on your Beer 30 list.
Oh shit. All that head. Gotta pour a little slower now. It's not doing much good though. Gotta say though, the fresh hops are bursting out of this glass before I even put it up to my nose, so that's a good thing, nonetheless. So yeah, the big smokestack of head is not something I particularly care for, but that's okay. Let's just jump right into it, yep. Despite the massive foam top we have here, the hops are just clamoring and itching to just get in my nose and getting in my mouth. Oh, it's definitely nicely hopped, but it's also very gratuitously malted. Color is a nice little golden, kind of Pilsner color, a little darker maybe. On the tip of your tongue, you've got the wonderful citrus from being so hop driven. As it finishes, it gets a little bitter, more in the middle, but then it finishes off with just really a lot of malt. The best way I can describe this beer in terms of taste is like a relay race. You've got three contenders: the malt, the hops, and the bitterness. In the first lane, you've got the hops, which are just itching and roaring and ready to go and just, you know, just ready to get out there, right? Just get in there. You've got the malt, which is sort of optimistic and wanting to just get the race done. Then you've got the bitterness, which is sort of slacking. Now, what's happening in your mouth in relation to all this is you've got the hops, which are just zooming right out the gate. Then they kind of slow down a little bit, and eventually they tucker out. Then you've got the malts, which are kind of chugging along a little bit. The bitterness is not too far behind. And then the bitterness just says, forget it. And then the malts just like shine all the way through. It's just, that's the best way I can describe it. It's a sweet beer. That's not to say it's not good. In fact, the opposite. It's not balanced. It's definitely not a balanced beer, but it's not something that will cause a problem for me personally. So it's okay in my book. So now let's take a gander at the artwork. Again, with Stone, it's pretty typical, cookie cutter, cut and dry. Not necessarily cut and dry, but you know, the artwork is pretty template based. Delicious IPA in cursive looks nice. The color scheme looks nice. What I found was also pretty interesting is that on the bottle it has printed up in the upper left corner, it says crafted to reduce gluten, which is cool. I mean, crafted to reduce gluten, not eliminate gluten, which I think would be the goal if you were to try to appeal to people who have celiac disease. Not that people who have celiac disease should even drink beer like that anyway, but it's kind of cool that they're trying to be somewhat health conscious. Now on the bottle it says it's lemon dropped and Eldorado hopped. I've heard of Eldorado hops. I don't think I've ever heard of lemon drop hops. Okay, now it's time to take this a little bit more seriously. This is an IPA for people who have had IPAs in the past, who they're not necessarily hop heads, but would enjoy something that will be a next step up. At 7.7%, this is a good entry level to the higher percentage beers. For those who are hop heads, this might be a little too sweet for your liking. It's definitely freshly hopped, like I said earlier, which smells wonderful, tastes wonderful, but it just finishes off a little too much on the soft, sweet side, at least from my perspective. Well guys, if you like this review, make sure you push the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.